Hi, happy Friday from the Pacific Northwest. It's also Good Friday this weekend. I am sitting in my office. I have all kinds of papers here. I love to do research, and that's something I'm going to share with you today is I've been following mega trends actually for many years, but I've been following the mega trends happening in this decade. Now, this live that I'm going to do is not going to be my full mega trend number two that I talked about, Megatrend number one last week. That's coming up, but this is something a little bit different. And I wanted to touch on just a few things here, and I have my notes, so I'm going to be looking down occasionally and sharing some details with you. Now, something that I find super fascinating with the online space, or just even computers and the internet in general, is when I went back to school to get my master's, I was really fascinated with one of our classes that had to do with big data and all that health information technology stuff. And my teacher was quite impressed, thank you, but was quite impressed with my knowledge of what was happening in the online space and with technology and with innovations and the future. And she asked me how I knew all of these things. Now, I didn't have it all quite put together, but I tell you that class was super, super eye-opening. Like I've shared before, you don't know what you don't know, right? And it really opened my eyes to what big data, futuristic innovations, smart cities, the use of just the internet and technologies and just big data. So, of course, we've all heard of big data, but I didn't really realize to the extent of it as far as mega trends went. So I'm going to share some of these things with you guys today, and I'm going to hope to keep it fairly short, but I needed to be at my office. I tried to actually do this earlier, and I didn't have a strong enough Wi-Fi for everything that I needed. So if you're with me live, please go ahead and say hello. Happy Friday, wherever you're coming from in the world. If we haven't met before, my name is Julie McNamara. I love to travel. I love to be outdoors. And I'm also an online digital business owner, and I help everyday people such as you, maybe that are watching right now, on how to start an online business. A lot of people are looking for something, but they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know how to start, where to start. They just know they want something different. And they know they're hitting their head up against the wall, and they're just beaten, and they just can't get past that, right? They're just like stuck. Do you feel stuck and frustrated in these changing times? A lot of people do. You're not alone. And so what I do is I help people get past that. If you can open your mind to innovations and technologies and realize there's other ways of doing things out there that's legal, okay, mind you, it's definitely illegal. But if you feel that let me word it this way. Do you feel like you were meant for more in life? Okay. I love that question. And, do you feel that there's a pull to live a better life, but you just can't figure out, it's just out of reach. You just don't know quite how to get there. Okay. Well, I have a solution for you if you stick with me here, and I'm hoping that you do. If you're with me live again, please say hello, and if you're on the replay, please do the same and let me know where you're coming from. This is global information that you can share all across the world. It is super valuable and relevant to everybody across the world. So that's why I'm going to share this with you, because the more and more I talk with people and the more I come on and share my lives with you, the more hopefully you're realizing, just in my live I did the other day, that more of the world, almost 90% of the world, is connected globally. Okay, there are more people that have digital phones and access to internet in the world today than they have running water. Now that's pretty interesting paradigm shift. There's also more people, for the first time in history, more people are in an urban environment. Urban life now is more than anything else in the world with as far as population. So what does that mean? Some of the things that I've been following as far as retirement and things like that. A lot of people, a lot of baby boomers are heading into retirement. And what's really important about that is, in the past, retirement used to be about people wanting to possibly pare down or move to another country or live, the island life, things like that, right? Which I'm really interested in doing, actually, and still still am. But the paradigm shift actually has definitely changed. And when you do this research and look at all of it, it's pretty fascinating to watch that the baby boomers now are looking to move to cities, and they call them mega cities and mega trends, and they are going to be everywhere. They're all over the world, and they're going to become massive smart cities. Now, I did a live on this probably a year ago as far as smart cities go, because I followed a futurist that used to work for a big company here in the Portland, Oregon area, and he's gone off on his own in consulting, and he's talking about smart cities. Now, whether you believe in, the government watching you kind of stuff, it's going to happen no matter what. So you might as well just kind of learn about it and how you can participate in that, because there's a lot of really exciting things about it. There are some definitely concerning things about it that would make you feel skeptical, which is a great thing, because your brain wants you to protect yourself with skepticism. But let's get into some of these facts here. Let's say hello to a few people. Looks like there's some people on already with me. So it looks like we have Samantha. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here today. It looks like you're coming in from Canada, from Quebec. QC, is that Quebec? Is that Quebec? That's awesome. And we also have Patricia here. Hey, good morning, Patricia. Great to see you on this Easter weekend. You're coming in from Australia. Thank you for being here. All right, so some things that I wanted to share with you. Now, I'm not sure quite how to word this, but what I want to share with you is, I wish I had all these statistics written down. They're all in my head, and I've shared some of them already. But just in the last 10 years, we have seen more millionaires become billionaires. And in the coming 10 years, we're going to see more of the millionaires and billionaires become trillionaires, okay? And the reason is it's all been because of the online space. Now, if you want to have access to the online space, we're all kind of thrown into it in 2020, right? We were all just kind of thrust into it, whether you knew about it or not, you want to participate or not, you're in it. And businesses as well as people are trying to figure out how to navigate that. And one thing that I thought was really interesting about that is it says that just as far as users per month, now this is super important for anyone who owns a business, whether it's brick and mortar or you want to start a business, or even if you're just interested in facts, just curious facts. And a lot of people think that Facebook, because they are touted as a large social media platform, they think that they're the largest in the world. Now, they do have 2 billion users a day, or they have 25 billion users a month that use that platform. Now, that is massive, and that's all over the world. A lot of people are on it. It's a great way to connect and socially connect with people and share photos and all these different things, right? But what I found interesting is YouTube. Little known YouTube has just literally in the last few years, and you're going to see this happen over and over again with these mega trends. You're going to see little companies that you haven't heard of before start to explode, like Netflix, for example. That was not, that was within 10 years ago. They are now the #1 streaming platform in the world. So YouTube has 34 billion users online a month. And Google, of all things, does anyone have any guesses how many users per month are on that platform of Google? It is mind-blowing. Any guesses out there? It is 92 billion users a month that utilize social media platform Google, okay? That is so powerful and really, really important to know, no matter what business you have, whether you're in network marketing, regular marketing, owning your own business, owning brick and mortar, it doesn't matter what you're a part of, whether you just want to participate in the world, everything is e-commerce and has gone online, and that is massive. And it says that that is just the beginning, because, the world has become, there's even more billions of people in the world now, okay? And more for the first time, and I put the statistics in recently in one of my lives, for the first time in history, you guys, it's 56% right now, and within, I think it was by 2025, don't quote me on that, but it's really soon, okay? 75% of the workforce in the entire world are gonna be the millennials and the Gen Z, okay? So they're gonna outdo population-wise the rest of the world. And you know what's really important and exciting about that group of people, you guys, is they grew up with the online space. They know this. They know how to like engineer it and be intuitive, and their futurist thinking and the innovations and everything that it's exciting. It's really exciting for them to have that innovation of, the limits are like, there's no limits. They're doing all kinds of things with augmented reality and technologies. And it's fascinating to watch. It gets me like tongue-tied sometimes. And I also find it interesting that every minute consumers in the online space spend over $1 million in e-commerce. Every minute. How would you like to have a piece of that? Just a little piece of that pie. It doesn't matter, again, what business you're in. You could be in a network marketing business. You could be in anything. A business would kill for a little piece of that, right? Not technically kill, but they would love to have that. And how do they do that? They have to spend millions of dollars, usually millions of dollars, for these big companies to compete. They have to do it in marketing, and they don't want to spend that money in marketing. So what's really awesome where I come in, and what I share with people is I share with people how to use and automate or use leveraging through automation and systems. Now, when you automate systems and leverage the internet, the power of this billions of users every month, man, the sky is the limit, you guys. It is absolutely fantastic and amazing, because one thing that I posted today on my page, I was talking about financial leverage, and I got this off of LinkedIn, actually. It's a whole business platform, right? When you look at this big graph of all these billions of users every month that are online, LinkedIn was this tiny little dot at the very bottom of the 50 most used online, global behemoths in the world, which I thought was pretty interesting. But financial leverage is one of 3 legitimate ways, okay, if you're in any sort of business or you want to know a fact here, to make a profit in any given business. So this is per LinkedIn. Their talks that they do every day. You can find this on there with their big CEOs and people that study this stuff. There are 3 that are very that are for any given business, and it's margin, turnover, and leverage. So if you have a company that can watch the margins, right? Does anyone watch that Profit with Marcus Lemonis? I love that show. You learn so much about profit, people, and product, right? That's like his mantra. But margin is really important, because for any business, you have to have a margin. It doesn't matter. Well, what's really awesome is to align with these billions of people online and with companies that are emerging and ones that have already been there and have spent that money in the online space. They have margins for people such as us, attraction marketing people that are out there, like, how do we get a piece of that pie? You use leveraging automation and systems to access that, and they pay you, and they pay you very well for it. Okay, they don't care where it goes, or as long as you market for them, and they get to hold the product for you. They get to ship it for you. Like, I don't even know if I can use the word, but the big, the Amazon everyone talks about. Everyone thinks we do our affiliate with Amazon, and we are not. It's a fascinating concept, but a lot of people that I've talked to have done that platform, and they come to us and say, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I don't have to spend all that money. I don't have to stock all those products, and I don't have to ship it. If you order something on like eBay or any of those kind of things, they have to stock it and ship it and send it, and all these, it's not scalable, you guys. If you want to participate in the online space, it has to be scalable. Scalable is money. It is so powerful as far as leveraging and automation. It's one thing I also love about Marcus Lemonis and The Profit. Watch his show if you haven't seen it. You can learn some really great value with him as far as that goes. So as far as margin go, got that covered. We deal with companies that have high margin. Turnover, we don't have to worry about. Turnover is basically low because we don't have to stock anything, right? They don't have to deal with any of that. There's no turnover. And leverage. So we've definitely got that down. Learn to leverage these social media platforms on how to use that technology and innovation to grow your business. So some people say, oh, that sounds kind of scary. I don't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do it either, which is pretty kind of funny, because anybody from any walk of life, whether you're an extrovert, an introvert, a mom, a dad, a grandma, a brand new mom, it doesn't matter. There's a system in place, and you could use. I mean, it's already there, and they're translating it into different languages because English, I had a statistic, and I wish I didn't close that darn browser. I could pull it up again and share it at a later time on my page, but there was a statistic about the top languages spoken in the world. Okay, and English is number one. But it is not going to be number one for long, you guys. And it was really fascinating because this is the business for you if you speak more than one language. To be honest to gosh, the online space is for you. It doesn't even have to be the business, that I share with people. But if you can speak more than one language, you are light years ahead of everybody else, because English is slowly becoming, and not so much the number one, because of online, you guys. It's really cool. So as far as let me share this with you. This I thought was kind of interesting. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know I'm just talking really fast here, but I have a lot to talk about. I'm already at 15 minutes, you guys, if you want to hang on with me here. Let's see, who else do we have on? Oh, hey, Wynn, how are you doing up there in Canada as well? Great to see you here from Surrey. I bet I saw your pictures today. It looks really nice out there today. It's nice today here as well. So it says here that over $2 trillion of global social innovation opportunities arose in 2020. And they said that is going to go into the 3 digits coming up this decade, okay? This is actually from a white paper I like to follow. If you want to go to frost.com, it's Frost and Sullivan. They're all about global innovations and market strategy and futuristic things. They have people that literally are futurists, and they take big data across the world, and they take the technologies, and they spend thousands and thousands, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours, and they pare this information down in a format that little old me can understand. And it's a pretty fascinating site. So it's really cool website, and my husband actually found it for me because they use it in their world of engineering. And there's a lot of different platforms that you can use. Like it says here, for example, it says that challenges basically are monumental across every industry when you look at the future. So it says in healthcare, how will we provide quality care in a world of aging populations for every patient globally in a sustainable, affordable way? They're looking at energy. How will we satisfy the growing energy requirements of a highly connected and power-hungry global population, increasingly concentrated in urban environments? So how are we going to deal with that? Everybody is on their electronics, right? And we need that data and that energy to power that. And how are they dealing with that? And there's some really cool, innovative ways. I just saw a thing with Jeff Bezos this morning and Elon Musk. They were having this conversation separately, but it was kind of merged into the same little snippet of video that I was watching. But it was really fascinating to listen to these two guys talk about their ideas that they've had in the past and the ideas that they're now thinking in the future. And one thing I really love about them, and one thing I've loved about all kinds of leaders, Evan Carmichael, if you ever follow him, he has this great saying that says, everybody has Michael Jordan genius inside of them. And I believe that in everybody as well. Everybody's got some sort of Michael Jordan genius inside of them, but they just don't have an outlet to share it. And that's one thing I love about the online space, is we have the ability, because the world has changed in a paradigm. A paradigm is a belief. The belief now is that if you're not participating in the online space, you're going to basically fall behind. And that's what both of those two said, Bezos and Musk said, is if you run up against your dream or your goal or your barrier of what is like the sky is the limit, right? Why does the sky have to be the limit? It can be the stars, it can be space, and that's what Elon Musk is doing right now. As far as Jeff Bezos goes, he said people laughed in his face, his own family. People said, you are not going to be successful. That is the stupidest thing ever. He was criticized constantly. But what he did know, and what he believed at the bottom of his heart, is he said, when you break down those barriers of those walls that are in front of you that are keeping you from your dreams of what you want, he says there's always a reward on the other side. And I completely agree with that. So that's why I share a lot of this information with you, because I love following people like that, and to have access to that world-class training at the tip of my hands. It's awesome, because I've learned so much about the now and the future. And it is pretty darn exciting, really, really exciting information coming up that if you want a piece of that, just a little piece, you don't even have to be greedy as far as that goes. I don't want to be greedy. I want to just help more people. More people realize that there is so much more behind that barrier. There is a massive reward on the other side. If you can just take that little doubt in your head and go with it, and don't trust everybody else, because they're not doing it out of malice most of the time. They're doing it because they want to protect you. But don't listen to the people that haven't done it or haven't done the research and haven't seen the other side of that wall. Check it out for yourself. Definitely check out for yourself. And one thing I thought was really cool, and I've heard about this before, the world is, all about industrialized nations. There's like so many of them, right? And then there's the third world countries. That's kind of how our paradigm, our beliefs we've been taught to think is, for example, Africa is a third world country, and they're just way behind in the world. Let me tell you what, Africa is phenomenal. They have put in so much money into that infrastructure of that country, and other countries have put money into that. It is amazing. Back in 2012, it says right here, in 2012, Coca-Cola, a world global company, you guys, they put an innovative, futuristic thought in, and they called it the Cola Life Project. And it was an innovative research in South Africa to utilize innovative delivery methods of getting medicine for diarrhea. Was that? What is it called when you have diarrhea like that? But anyway, when you have the diarrhea and you're malnourished and you need medicine, a lot of these outlying little tribes and farms and stuff, they don't have access to the city, and it takes them days to travel to get to medicine. Well, what they did is Cola used an existing distribution network to deliver it to the rural communities, and it enabled treatment for the diarrhea. And it has, in 1 year, almost 45% of the children who needed this anti-diarrhea medicine got it. And so they saved lives, they helped the quality of life better, and they're using that through drones, and they're using it through existing networks that are already in place. So that's what we do. We use existing networks that we leverage, and there's money to be had in that. It is, like I said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you know how to access that, that is super important. And when you can provide value to people and share with them how to access this information so they can find out for themselves, that's even more powerful. And it's really exciting to talk to the people that are the Gen Zs and the millennials and things like that, because they already know how to use it really well, and their brains kind of think like a little computer. There's constantly like audit, and the gaming world is in the billions of users a month, and just money, and just it's fantastic and amazing. And I can go on and on about all the different cool things that are coming up as far as innovation and smart cities, and how they're using futuristic things already. They're already using them. They're already in test mode right now, and it's pretty cool. So I guess that's basically where I'm going to leave it right now, because I do want to share coming up this next week. I'm going to share my Megatrend series. Now, you can look up a lot of research on the megatrends. There are 12 that a lot of them talk about, and I pare them down and talk about, there's 8, because I think a few of them can be merged in kind of the same thing. And when you break those 8 down, there are 5 core mega trends happening in this decade. Okay. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the next mega trend out of the series of 8 that I'm going to share. But you can look all this information up. You can find it in all kinds of different places. And hopefully you can share that information also with people, because it is pretty exciting and fascinating. And that we have innovative thinkers and dreamers out there that did it anyway when people told them not to. And, we're willing to risk the risk and reward. And, it's pretty fascinating. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. It was just on my heart because I just love reading this information, and I wanted to share that with you because it is pretty cool to be able to access that. So that's all I'm going to share with today. Looks like we've got Wynn says, thank you for sharing. Love your content and contributions on your Go Lives. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. I do hope to provide value to people. And I am streaming to 3 different locations right now, so I'm not sure which location people are coming in on. But I do really appreciate it and value that you're here and that you have choices to follow other people. And I do appreciate you being here, especially on long lives like this. Sometimes when I tend to ramble, but hopefully I do provide value for you. And everybody have a really fantastic weekend. Easter weekend here in the United States, it's like a dawning beginnings, right? We're just new life, new beginnings, spring. It's spring here in our part of the world and in our hemisphere. It's spring. I talked to someone in Australia and they said they didn't know what spring was. Spring is the shoulder between winter and going into summer. It's spring. It's when the leaves are blooming and the birds are out and babies are being born as far as animals. It's life, and it's, you know, the whole, if you're a Christian, it's the whole Jesus Christ rising and just beliefs and new beginnings and starting over and spring cleaning and anything like that. So it's kind of for me, for where I live, it's the start of just some amazing weather and feel good between spring, summer, and fall. Where I live in the Pacific Northwest, it's pretty great. So everybody, thank you for watching today, and we will see you on the next one. If you want to tune in tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewed by someone in the business community, and her name is Grace, and she's going to be interviewing me, and I will share that onto here. I don't think I'll be able to stream it live because she'll be running the interview, so I can share it afterwards though. Maybe you can learn a little bit more about what I do as well. So until next time, everybody have a fantastic Friday or wherever it is in your part of the world. We'll see you then. Bye.